Hello, and welcome to episode 15 of Scars of Disorder. That's where I mean,
Welcome to my room.
Welcome to Justin's room. Welcome to my sister's living room. Oh, Nick, I think you're muted.
I was about to say, you're being very unwelcoming, the two of you.
I took my shoes off.
Good, thank you.
There
This
you go.
isn't-
There you go.
This is a no shoes household.
Whoa.
I think all of ours are no shoe households, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we burned them. Nick, I think you're still muted.
We're not savages.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, now you're not muted. I heard that.
All right. Yes, it is a no shoe household. Something that I came to a conclusion on recently was that I grew up. I thought it was funny. Like occasionally, I went into a house and it was fine to have your shoes on,
Mhm.
but for the most part, in the Midwest, it kind of is also just a thing to not have your shoes on because of salt.
Yeah.
And like just the general nature of like living in a place where it snows
Yeah.
for like 6 months out of the year. Like
You will destroy someone's floor.
you
if
will
try
absolutely
to throw
annihilate.
salt into their
So,
house. Yeah.
It is kind of a normal thing in the Midwest to not have your shoes, or up northern Midwest, to not have your shoes on in the house.
Mhm.
So I guess it was a little bit less of a culture shock to like
Interesting.
go to
Yeah.
friends' houses and things like
That's
that.
fair.
Yeah, like traveling more south, people just walk with their shoes throughout the house. Like when I was staying in Florida to visit like my sisters and some friends, people just had their shoes on in the house. And I was like, all right.
What if you just stepped in alligator poop?
What if, Danny?
That's actually what the floors are made of. The hardwood floors are finished with alligator poop.
Dried alligator.
No, it actually makes an incredible glaze.
Oh no. Ugh. Here's my banter question. I just thought about it. It would just bother me. What are those suits called in Dune that recycle your bodily fluids?
Still suits.
Still suits. Those would be great, wouldn't they? Not even just to survive, but just to have.
Okay. I don't know where you're gonna go with this.
Right?
I don't
'Cause
want to go
it's
there.
just like wear around. Just you're like,
Yeah.
oh, gotta go grocery shopping.
So Sam,
Don't need to worry about going to the bathroom before I leave to go grocery shopping.
exactly.
I got
Just
it.
use the bathroom while you're grocery shopping. Was that you? Who was that? Was that Justin?
That was Justin.
Yeah, that's,
Oh no. Never mind.
Oh
I
my
take it all
God.
back. I take it all back. I don't want to see a
yeah,
still suit.
yeah. Thank you.
No, actually, that's also what I've always wondered. Does it have a taste to it?
No,
Or does it just
I
taste
mean,
like water?
ideally, no, right?
Be recycled.
filter everything out. Of it.
I feel like that would be the moment you'd be like, oh man, gotta change the filters out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wait, hang
Let me
on.
change out the filters in my still suit.
I would assume that their technology is advanced enough that you wouldn't have to change out some filters. But it's really funny to think otherwise.
That is really funny. Oh, here, that's
Maybe
a really good. That's sorry, what were you gonna say, Sam?
No, I was just going to say maybe it just tastes like Southern California water.
I love it. That's actually a really good banter question. Give me right now, just think about it. I'm gonna call one of you. Elevator pitch a wearable, just improves quality of life invention. All right, ready?
And you have to wear it?
You have to wear it. Sam, go.
They are gloves, but when you flex your hands in the appropriate way, you get Wolverine claws that pop out. So if you are needing to cut through like tarp, or maybe there's like you got like you want half a dozen bananas, but there's 8 of them, you can just flex your hands and then pop them out, and there you go.
I love it. So it's for banana cutting Wolverine claws. Beautiful, beautiful. Nick.
I think it would be some sort of little, inner arm display. Like there would be a screen,
Okay.
but not in any way. Like it's not there for you to like browse the internet and check your messages or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you give it a request, it just gives you a vague response, like either literally a riddle,
Yeah,
or it'll like give you a general direct. It's like go northeast.
that's fun.
You're,
I like that.
you're
It's
like,
just
I
an
want to play
8-ball that you
speed.
wear on your wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it. I thought, knowing you, I was like, oh, he's just gonna make a pit man, isn't he? But it wasn't. It wasn't. So there you go.
It's a pit boy.
It's
First of all,
Pit boy. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Rest,
Hey,
what's
man.
what's the weather going to be like today? I don't know. Somewhere between 20 and 50.
what Celsius
the
or
temperature, but
Fahrenheit?
in
Yeah,
Celsius.
sure. Both. Of
What does
them.
that mean?
It's
yeah.
actually in Kelvin.
Oh, so we're all freezing to death.
yeah, we're dead.
yeah. All right, Justin.
I've had the most time to think about it, but I'm gonna go with my original idea, which was, can I find a way to glue a car to someone's butthole, so you could just like,
So you could just like what?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
I think you really channeled your son in that answer. That's what I was really feeling. Felt Rio in the room.
Oh my god.
That's just where my head went. I was like, can I get a car on my butt? And if so, how?
I mean, you specified hole. Like
That was in the moment. That was in the moment. I said, hole.
Nope. You can't. You can't
I'm-
circle
no,
back.
I'm keeping
You
it.
can't
No, I'm
circle
keeping
back.
it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I said it. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
Atta boy.
it's
All right.
a much
You know
more
what?
defined target.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm picturing almost like the Flash's suit, but a car. And it's not a ring. It's,
I mean, it is a ring.
sure, you're right. It's a ring.
It's some.
All right, Sharks. You heard it here first. These are our pitches. We're asking for 23 million for 25% of the company. I don't know. Yeah.
When did this become Shark Tank? Should we just start the
Huh?
episode? I feel like we need to just start it at this point.
I love it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Speaking of
Sharks.
sharks having to cut things with Wolverine claws, or look at magic 8-balls on your wrist, or having cars on your bodily orifices. Let's hop into the 4 nations, shall we?
That was a great
I think
segue.
I think my segues are getting better and better and better.
That was the best.
I almost wish, Sam, I almost
Know
wish
who
you
thought
went
that?
last.
The
Hmm?
creator of the segue.
I was gonna say, Sam, if you went last, then I would have said, because you want to use your Wolverine claws to chop bananas, and I was like, you can use your Wolverine claws to chop bananas or chop through vines in the twisty turns of the singing path, which is we are now. All right, I'm just gonna start the recap, guys. I'm so sorry. Previously on Scars of Disorder, our young benders found themselves separated while trying to traverse the mysterious mazes of the singing path. While Haru and Mei witnessed visions of their past, Ling had a suspenseful encounter with the spirit that watches over the singing path, a gigantic moth-headed serpent, Wrong. Meanwhile, Teto, with a now injured Gyamsen, sadly thanks to Mei, she didn't mean to though, she's sorry about it, had to learn to let go of his inner passivity to learn a new technique in order to cut his way through the vine-covered pathways of the maze. Now, the young airbender finds himself in a chase with the group of Dao Fei known as the Ghost Tigers.
Nice.
One of whom, to Teto's surprise, is a skilled airbender? What?
Whoa.
I had to cough a little bit. So that's where we'll actually open. We'll open on a scene of Teto running down the twists and turns of the singing path. Close behind you, Teto, you can hear the shouts and footsteps of the Ghost Tigers closing in behind you. And you can also hear the whoosh of wind every now and then, while the shadows of whoever that airbender was passes over you from time to time.
So is Teto's running? He's afraid. Is he gaining any ground? Is there a sliver of escape, or is he trapped?
I mean, so far, in my eyes, unless you're doing something different, in my eyes, you're just sort of just running as fast as you can, maybe turning when you have to, but just continuing to do this.
Yeah, I think he's going
it does
to
sound like the ghost tigers are gaining on you.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is he's aware that Gimson is back behind and he's run away from her. He doesn't want to get super lost. He needs to keep a bead on where she is. And if he's not feeling like he's losing the ghost tiger spiders, then he's going to maybe shore up and get to a place where he feels a little bit protected. And see if he can maybe crouch down and see.
Okay, yeah. So I think
but yeah, he's
here,
also. I mean, he doesn't want to get too far away from Gimson. So if he needs to stop, then he's going to stop.
Yeah. So I think so. You're trying to find like a place where you could like maybe try like hiding,
or maybe even talking. I think he is still wrestling with this concept of conflict. And he's been taught in his spiral that like the way to solve things is through communication, compromise, and compassion. And so maybe that's the way forward in this moment.
The 3 C's of the Orban spiral. I love it. So just to So I don't even think I want to roll here. I think that after running, it seems like you're not really thinking about turns. You're just sort of running. I think at some point you take a turn and it does come to like a dead end, right? But these walls have still been like pretty loosely like covered in like vines and brush. The walls of this hallway that you're in right now, which is met with a dead end, you think might have enough vines to sort of like hide behind. Otherwise, you could just stand and confront the ghost tigers as they reach you.
I think he'll just whip around, and whoever he's ready to just confront whoever is coming towards him.
I love that. So we see Teto run and get met with this dead end, and he stops and he whips around. And there's a little bit of a moment where you can hear in the distance the running and the shouts, like, "You went this way!" And the footsteps and the shouts draw closer and closer as this group of about, I want to say like 6 or 7 individuals come up on Teto. They're all wearing dark garments. Most of them have either like a cloth mask or like some form of like bandana around their mouth to cover most of their face. And they all have weapons of various shapes and sizes. And they come up and point their weapons at Teto. While pretty soon after, what does Teto do?
I was going to say, I don't want to fight you.
At this point, you hear and something land on the wall above you. As you hear, "Oh, it wouldn't have been a fight in the first place." And dropping next to you, you see that airbender who is wearing these like short, like steel claws as he begins pacing around you.
And Teto looks at him and says, "Oh, wow, you're an airbender."
Why? Are you an airbender too?
Yeah, I am. And Teto will do the thing where he puts his palms together, just like, the Aang thing where he spins a circle of air and makes a tight ring of air in between his palms to show him. See?
I love that. So you do this, and at this point you see I've already made a point that the singing path is like kind of like alive, right? As you're showing this airbending technique, I think the vines and brush attached to the surrounding walls begin like sort of like wriggling and maybe like closing in response to that. But then very quickly, this unnamed airbender takes his fist and slams it into the ground, causing this huge gust of wind that just, by the looks of it, basically just evaporates the vines and brush, but it actually just like blows them away.
Whoa.
As he stands up.
I've never seen airbending like that before.
Just because you're nowhere as skilled or confident as I am. What's your name?
I'm Teto. You are skilled.
Let me guess. You're one of the traditional ways of the nomads. You don't want to fight.
Actually, I'm here on a spiritual quest. I had a vision of a spirit, and I've been wandering. I met up with some people. We had a band together. We won a battle of the bands competition. It was pretty awesome.
Okay. So this sounds like it might be a trick because you're really here for other reasons, right? Am I right in saying that?
This is not a trick. This is not a trick.
Not a
I
trick?
am on a spiritual
Okay.
quest. We
You
won
are?
battle
Oh,
of the
Teto.
bands.
You're so right. Teto is very much so on a spiritual quest. You're so right. All right. So then,
What sort of airbender are you?
how about I ask you this question instead? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you right now.
Whoa. I mean, like, one, I like I just said, I think you're pretty skilled. I wouldn't want you to kill me. I don't think I have that any ability to compete with you in this moment. Please don't kill me. I would like to use roguish charm.
Yeah.
So when I plead with an NPC, by flattering them, I can mark 1 fatigue and roll with creativity instead of harmony.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just begging for your life.
My
I love
plead is for him not to kill me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Give me that roll.
I got a 7 plus 2 is a 9.
Is a 9. All right, awesome. So on a 7 to 9 with plead, they need something more. Evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making the right choices, or resources to aid them. So this still unnamed airbender asks, and sorry, Sam, Teto told them his name, right?
I don't think
I
so, not
believe
yet.
so. Not yet. All right.
Or did he? I don't know. Help me out, y'all.
I don't know either.
Let's say
Yes. Maybe. All right. Maybe Teto. Tell me this. Which temple do you hail from?
Well, I don't have a temple.
Oh. Are you part of the Balu spiral?
No, I'm on a spiritual quest. I'm here in the singing path. I'm actually hoping that I can find something here. Are you looking for something too? Maybe we could help each other.
In a sense. I'm gonna be honest, Tessa. You intrigue me.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to be honest that I'm feeling a little, embarrassed right now, but it's nice to be appreciated.
I do need some help. There have been groups of people that have been making life for us here a little harder than it needs to be. If you're able and would be so willing to help me encourage these people to just leave us alone.
People have told me that I can be very encouraging.
All right, that's good to hear. They've set up camp nearby. Are you willing to help us out?
I mean, I would like to see what's at the center of this path. Are you going to be able to help me out with that?
We've been looking for the center for some time now. It's, as you probably noticed, by now. It seems you've been here for a while.
I mean, time is weird in this place. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
My friends call me Sting.
Sting. I really want to make a
So-
police joke. Somebody help me out here.
Does Teto even know what police are? I don't.
I was thinking, I was like, either they're gonna make police jokes or like Lord of the Rings jokes. It's gonna be
Well,
either.
there's one more option. That frankly, might have been funnier in this game.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm so curious now.
Yeah, roll it out, Nick.
Sting the man?
Oh, you're so right.
Sting the man.
That's insane. That's how
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
know.
have to Google that one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a musician.
Oh,
He's a musician. The
Yeah.
police?
I'm gonna say,
Wait, that-
Sting. You know
Oh,
what? I
keep
feel like
going.
you've been watching me. I've just been like going along this path. Every step I take,
Yeah, yes. So sorry, Teto. So are you sorry, one more time also. You said you came here with friends? Or you met people? Sorry?
yeah, we're not together anymore.
Oh, okay, had a little falling out.
I mean, falling, yes.
Okay, it's all right. It happens. I think you'll be safe with us. Here's what I want you to do, okay, Teto?
I'm listening.
So we're gonna this group of people camping nearby. They've lost some of their things, so we're gonna gather their things in a part of the maze. I just want you to lead them there. All right? They're camped nearby. If you can see the plumes of smoke, if you look to the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet them at their camp, I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot here. They're going to be a lot more friendly than us. But if you meet them at their camp and just tell them that you know where their things are, we'll have them set up somewhere along the path south of them. How does that sound?
I mean, that seems really nice of you. I don't want to take all the credit. It's okay if you come with me too?
I'm a little preoccupied here with me and my friends. We have other things to do while we're here as well. So this would be a huge help if you're able to.
I mean, like, we just met and you trust me? That's solid.
So far you're the first person I've met here who hasn't outright tried fighting me.
Well, I mean, like, again, you are pretty powerful. What was that that thing that you did where you were kind of walking on air? Is that a police song?
Teto looks up and asks. Yeah, I've sort of fallen away from the more traditionalist methods of bending of the Eastern Air Temple, and I've sort of made it my own, as you can see.
You're from the Eastern Air Temple?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
All right, so are you willing to do this thing for me?
I don't see why not.
All right, awesome. So we'll just go ahead and gather all their gear. As I said, it's spread out, so I need to go help some of my friends find it and gather it all into one spot. If you just take the path just south of their camp, then you should be able to find where their gear is at, and then maybe you can help lead them out.
To
Be honest, I think this. Yeah, I to be honest, I think this group of people might be lost in here as well, and they've been making our job here, the stuff that we're trying to do here, a lot harder for us.
I know something about being lost. Earlier we were it's so wild. We were headed towards something called the Creeping Meadow, and we were near the shore, and so I decided to say, let's go towards the Creeping Meadow. But I actually didn't know where I was going. I just thought I knew where I was going. And then we ended up at the Creeping Meadow. So I was lost, but I felt like I was being guided by this spirit. You know what I mean?
Well, the Creeping Meadow is what the jungle surrounding the Singing Path used to be called. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. This is, I mean, like, I'm glad that you're listening to my story about how I got here. I would like to use stories of the world.
Yep. As soon as he dropped that line, I was like, oh, I know what Sam wants to do. All right, yeah. So when you spend time openly and freely sharing your honest story with an interested audience, roll with creativity. Yeah, so go ahead and give me that roll, Sam.
That's a 10 on the dice plus my 2 of creativity. I'm at 12.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
nice.
On a hit, they're engaged and interested and willing to ask them any one question about themselves or their story, and they'll answer openly and honestly. On a 10 plus, you may also clear a condition or ask a second question.
What are you all doing here?
As you may have already heard, it seems like you're not like the air nomads that I'm a little more used to. It seems like that you and your people travel more, experience the world a little more. Am I correct in saying that?
I mean, I've been around.
So as you're probably aware, the spiritual sites are a little bit at risk now, more than before. Would you agree?
I wouldn't disagree.
The world's changing, right? And I think with that, other aspects of it need to change as well. I don't think that with the risk of the world changing around spiritual sites such as these, they can just keep existing the way they are, right? As much as good as the intentions that Wrong has, I think there needs to be more done to protect these sites. Would you agree?
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, that yeah. I've never actually thought about it that way, which is very embarrassing to say. One could say it's in the name.
And what are these changes that you are intent on making?
I came here long ago. I followed what used to be a master of mine. But on my way here, I experienced something. Another spirit, I guess you could say. And they told me of a better way of keeping these sites safer. They told me that Wrong, although they are a spirit, is old in their ways and too set in their way of thinking. And I guess what we're doing here is nudging that old serpent's ways a little bit, maybe giving them a more adaptive way of thinking. I also very much so care about the spiritual sites, but as I said, I think there needs to be more done. And I think the spirit is showing me that.
I think that Teto's taking all this information in. He's not exactly sure still, like, what is going to happen. He does not get good vibes from Sting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you want a clear condition or ask a second question?
I mean, like, I want to know, again, like more specifics about like what it is actually that they're doing. I think he wants to also, I don't know, assess like how harmful like their presence is going to be, because at this point, the way that you're
Yeah.
presenting it, you're saying that that Teto is going to be let go. He's going to be let free, and nobody's going to come with him, and he's probably going to encounter another group from the Balu spiral. So there's really nothing stopping him from going to them and saying, like, hey, like there's danger ahead. Let's team up. But I think so there's an opportunity that he's sensing that if he just kind of cuts it off now and goes along with this plan, that he is going to be able to get to safety.
Yeah, and I think something that, as you've taken time to talk with Sting and like observe them as they speak with you and you speak to them, I think you can tell, and I think this is something you've experienced before being Teto, you can tell that they're underestimating you. You know, they obviously are trying to be like, hey, can you lead this other group of people, which in your mind you can probably suffice to say that it's a group of Balu spiral airbenders. He's asking if you can lead them to another part of the maze for reasons of their own, right? Which you can probably come to the conclusion that they're probably not that good. And so you can tell that Sting is underestimating you a little bit. Maybe thinks you're not as bright as you actually are.
I'll ask, you're presenting a perspective I've never thought about. For me, I've always just assumed that the ways of spirits are not for humans to know and not for us to interfere with. I couldn't even imagine enacting the change that you're talking about. So, like, mechanically, how does that even work? And that's my second question. Because I want to know. I want to know, like, what is is there a MacGuffin?
This is Sting speaking. I was very much so like you in my ways of thinking as well, until I encountered a spirit who actually asked me to help and asked me, and I guess your words, intervene as well. And they just told me of ways to more so ensure the protection of the site, to make it stronger. As you can see, this singing path, it's old, it's overgrown. Parts of it are crumbling. The spirit showed me ways to make it safer. I can show you if you want after you've done this thing for me.
Ooh, okay. All right, there. That's interesting. Teto's going to quit while he's ahead. And because I don't feel like you're giving me all the juice here, Danny.
Yeah, I don't think Sting wants to like give Teto too much right now, you know?
That's totally fine. It's totally fine. I mean, like, I'll do a thing for you, and maybe I'll meet you back. And so Teto is going to agree to this.
All right. As I said, if you look to the northwest, you should be able to see the plumes of smoke. And I will see you in a little bit. At this point, he just sort of spins and jumps up, kicking up dust and everything around him, and you can like kind of see the rest of the ghost tigers just running away. All right. What does Teto do?
I mean, he's going to make his way towards the members of what he assumes is the Balu spiral.
I love that. I love that. So yeah, you start making your way. You can see, sure enough, you can see the plumes of smoke that Singh was talking about. You start making your way towards there. But we'll real quick cut to Haru and Ling. They had just encountered each other again. We just saw a scene of them unknowingly, unbeknownst to all three of them, walking right past a pathway that May was walking down. May, although she heard what sounded like Haru, it was Haru crying. So May was like, that is not Haru. Also, we never even addressed to our audience the noticeable absence of Monroe. Did we? I don't think we did.
We did not.
I mean,
Did not. Yeah.
Justin and I haven't had a scene yet, so probably didn't.
Yeah.
I had a scene. I was doing a scene earlier. You didn't catch it?
Yeah, Justin texted me an entire scene.
Yep.
Oh.
Like a full script and everything.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're Monroeless tonight, but we can expect her next week. But yes. What are Haru and Ling doing?
I mean, we're trying to find our way. Is Haru still crying?
I'd like to say as well too. I'd like to.
Yes.
I've ended up in the same place that I was last week. I had said that I shifted my balance twice. Once from making amends, which is my Razor playbook feature, and once from an advancement that I got for resisting shifting my balance. That is incorrect. I shifted my center from that advancement, so it ends up in the same place, which is 0-0 for everything. My center's at 0. My balance is at 0. I didn't lose my balance technically, though.
Mm-hmm. But now
So-
your center is at 0-0, which is
As a
a
zero.
significant change.
Well, I mean, you can
from
still
that.
cry if you want to. You don't have to.
I'm gonna keep it. No, I'm gonna keep it. I think it
It's
makes a
your
lot of-
party. You
It-
can cry if you want to.
I'm going to, because I think that really represents in my head. Always shifting your center carries with it some sort of big cathartic moment,
Mm.
and I think that's he feels a sense of connection that is carrying with him.
Hmm.
But he is not currently crying.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Need to know where Ling needed to be at.
So I think you guys have already rolled for it and addressed like what
Finding
Ling
our
had
way.
learned from wrong, sort of
Yeah. Yep.
using your connection with the various elements to find your way through this path. So I'm guessing that's probably what you guys are doing, just walking through the path.
Yeah, I'm assuming at like every crossroads, I'm like Ling is like grabbing onto vines, and
I love it.
Haru's
I love
just
it.
like crouching down and feeling
Touch
the earth.
I
Just
love
look
it.
like weirdos, like just grabbing the scenery.
I love it. And at some point, Ling, you find it becoming more and more easy to feel sort of the veins of these vines as they protrude more and more from the walls, as you find yourself in like this basically overgrown part of the path. But the vines and brush that would have been covering your way looks like they've been cut, showing signs that people have been here before. And this, sure enough, is the way that the elements are leading you. And after traversing down this overgrown path a little more, you emerge, and a little bit in the distance, sitting up against the walls of the maze, you see Gyemtsen. Ling, you notice that like half of her body is burned. Like your clothes are like blackened.
Gimson, you alive? You don't look fully
Sort of-
alive.
You see her looking with like sort of suspicious eyes.
We're real.
Haru, Ling.
Yeah, we're here. Where's Teto?
She reaches-
Mate.
She reaches out her hand to sort of touch.
She just like touches Ling's face. I don't think I'm. Now I don't want to assume, but I really don't think we're close enough to you to be the ones that you're having some sort of strange vision of. Just throwing it out there.
Yo, sorry, I was going to start speaking like you, Ling. I should not. That is not what Gameson talks
No,
like.
that's not at
Um,
all what she
You're
said.
right. I'm sorry. She struggles to stand up as she slowly
Hey,
gets up with her hand.
it's all right. It's all right. Sit down. Sit down if you need to rest.
No, I was with Teto. We
But
saw
where is he?
signs. Well, we saw signs of someone camping nearby, and
You sent him by
sent in.
himself?
She sort of looks down at like her scorched body.
Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, you probably just don't send him at all, right? That's not whatever.
It might
And
have been a
I'm gonna
mistake,
try
but
to help
I
you
had
a little bit, and I will. She will like reach down and try
Yeah.
to like heal a little bit.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. So she is burned.
I
Like
figured.
it's bad. Like they're,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
starting,
like I'm just
blistering. So
I'm
I
just
think
trying to make sure it doesn't get.
I was
Like,
gonna say
infected.
I think this if you do this, it's a push your luck.
Why you gotta do that to me, Danny? What did I do? All right, push my luck. You know, benefit of being the broken. Oh.
So
Sam, that's such a good idea.
yeah, so Sam had just put an excellent idea in our private chat. He said, "Roll with your principal." So yeah, if you want, you
Because
can live up to your
normally when you push your luck, you roll with passion, of which I have a zero.
principal. It is one of your best stats, though.
It is one of my best stats. As the broken, you get just the best stats in the game. But I could spend a fatigue and roll with restoration. But here's the thing: I get a -2 to this anyways because I'm guilty. So I don't know if I want to spend the fatigue on something. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fail anyways.
It's a -2
So-
minus a -1.
Or +1. Wait.
Well, but -2.
Oh, yes. So you would end up.
So it's either roll with -2 or mark
Or
of
roll.
fatigue to roll with -1.
Or roll with -1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna roll.
Okay, yeah.
-2. Let's see what happens. Here, I'll use the water bending dice. Goes in the square hole. Oh.
He's in his-
8.
Awesome.
It's 10 -2.
Nice job.
I'll take
Awesome.
You did it, Ling. You did it.
it. Oh
So
my
you go
God.
and you crouch to attempt to heal Gimson, and much to honestly, but also besides Gimson, I don't think she even has witnessed much of your water healing, so she didn't really know what to expect. But much to honestly Ling's and Haru's surprise, like you use your hot water to heal, and it begins to have that slight glow, and you can see some of the blisters start to recede, and some of like the not so like 3rd-degree burns to like just
Alright.
basically vanish.
Doing it.
Hey, you did it. Nice job.
Okay.
Although,
she's-
like, someone
she
likes the
still has,
big-
like 2nd degrees burns, like all of her body.
But like some of them big blisters, like it's like that you turn the degrees have gone down one step.
You like that? I will take.
It's now
I-
level 1 harm.
I love that. I'm gonna
Oh, good.
Sam with the excellent ideas again. Just put in the private chat. Shift her balance. I think I will shift your balance one step towards restoration because witnessing this, it's nice of Ling to see. You know, I think it's.
Yeah.
She was sort of trying with Fung maybe being like so close to the spirit world in this place is what's helping that.
Mhm.
But as your healing start taking this time, you and Haru are like, whoa, you begin to hear some commotion behind you as the vines that
not
have begun to
now.
clear in the distance, that sort of like overgrown pathway you took, the vines quickly start like melding together, and they start like coming towards you, almost like a bunch of doors in a hallway being shut towards you. You know what I'm saying? All these
Oh.
vines are
We
sort
gotta
of
move. We gotta move.
Clearly.
Let's
Uh,
go.
Come on, up. And she like throws.
Yep.
Other
Jensen
arm.
over-
Under
yeah, one
Haru
arm.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
under each of us.
Yeah, so you guys begin limping away as these vines begin growing towards you, and they even past the clearing that you were in, they began growing, almost making up for the cut down vines that Gimson and Teto had cut. They began growing and almost like reaching towards you guys. Yeah, that's what's happening. What do you guys do? You guys are basically at risk of getting like engulfed in these vines.
I think Ling turns around and just tries to like she's been feeling the vines the whole time.
I love
she
it.
tries to
I
push
love it.
back on all of them.
I love it. You're like, hey, old friend, what? I love it.
It's a push your luck. It's a push your luck, Nate. We don't
I
use-
know. I was looking at your sheet and I was like, you know, I established that the singing path is living. Maybe this is a plead, but no, I think it's another push your luck.
that luck will be pushed. This time I will spend the fatigue.
Okay.
As
All
I
right. All
will
right.
now cancel out my -2 from guilty. And with my 2 restoration. Okay, I really needed it because I rolled exactly a 7.
Oh, awesome.
So
Awesome.
it's +0. So no minuses, just
No minuses.
Just a 7.
That's as no minuses are as good as a positive for you.
yeah, it really is. It's all I got. Man.
So you hold out your hand to halt the vines, and it works. The vines sort of stop moving as eventually you can feel the push stop. As in, instead of like pushing towards you, you once again just feel the maze begin to shake as the vines wriggle, and you once again hear that ear-piercing shriek that the maze has made before.
I thought that was be fine.
But rather than feel it all around you, you can hear that's just coming from this group of brush and vines that's in front of you.
I thought you said don't touch the vines.
I wasn't touching the vines. I thought it would be like a fine way to divert. I don't know. They were about to grab us.
You stopped them. I don't know if I want to wait around and let them.
I really don't.
Collect-
Yes, we should go. This
Keep
is
moving.
incredibly loud, and it's probably drawing attention.
Moving on. I go back under the other arm of Genson.
Hey, Ling,
I love it.
What?
good job.
Thank you. I was yeah, I did okay.
You did great. You healed Gimson, stopped the vines.
Like part way. Could probably get a little better with my application.
You did great. Ling wrong.
You want to roll a guiding comfort?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me that. Give me a piece of that Klondike bar.
baby.
Why did I start saying that?
Baby.
That's a 10. I rolled an 11
baby.
minus 1 for a 10.
Ooh, baby is right. So, yep. So, Ling gets to choose one, and you get those cheeky little +10 benefits, Justin, after they make their choice. If they embrace it.
Yeah, I will. I think Ling finally just says, "Thank you.
Wow.
I was really trying my best."
You did more than try. You succeeded.
And that is her accepting your guidance. Well, your comfort.
I love it. So,
also-
Ling can
Yes.
clear condition or 2 fatigue.
I will clear
And
2 fatigue.
Nice.
awesome. Beautiful. And Haru may ask Ling one question that they must answer honestly.
Perfect.
codes.
I wanted to ask Ling a question anyway, and I think this is maybe at some point, like we've walked a little bit, things have calmed down. We're kind of just like walking down the path, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Ling, mind if I ask you something?"
Sure. There is just a woman we're carrying between us.
All right, I can ask you later. That's fine.
Well, no, I mean just ask away.
Where did that come from when you were fighting those pirates?
Where did what come from?
The entire time I've known you, you've been very mild when it came to fighting. And then all of a sudden, you're just tossing them pirates around left and right.
Mm.
Where did that come from? I know a fighter when I see one. And I know now you've been hiding that from us. I'm not going to make you. Same with Teto. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do.
Oh,
But I just want to know. I just want to
there's
know
no-
where that came from. Why you decided to hide that?
It's not. I'm not hiding it. Those are the skills that those are the skills of a different person, and I don't want to be her anymore. So I don't use them.
I think I understand that probably more than anyone else.
I would assume. Although I can't say that I could possibly understand what you've been through.
Sounds like you've been through it too. It sounds like you've also come out of it.
I suppose that's for us to see.
All I'm saying is those skills, whatever they are, got you to this moment here to help heal Yimsin, to push the tide back on those vines. All I'm saying, you maybe don't need to run away from them.
You don't know what they can do.
And I think Haru will kind of touch his own scars on his back, kind of just gently, and be like, "No, I really do, but I get it, and I'm preaching to the choir. And you and I are very similar. And I know I just had a moment here that I was reminded of all the people that I've come across in my life. And most of them have used me and controlled me. And then I met you and Teto and May and Haru. And I'm reminded of all the people in my life that are good as well. And it's those same people I fight for and use those skills that I'm afraid of. Just food for thought.
Are you shifting Ling's balance towards reinvention?
That would be towards restoration. Just to
Restoration?
I think
Okay,
I was
okay,
about to ask, but I think that is towards restoration because restoration is about like reincorporating those skills back into like who you are, as opposed to.
Also, I realized the balance shift from you healing, should that have been reinvention?
No, I think it's restoration because it was more about her believing in her ability to do something correctly than it was about her using healing as like a way to escape fighting.
Heck yeah. I like that. Yeah, I think that I think he's saying that very much so, like, justifies a balance shift from the move. Very good. I'm sorry if Ling had another response.
Oh no, I think she's very quiet after that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, you see Gamson sort of just right between you guys, sort of just looking back and forth. It's like this is very nice.
Very mature for our age.
Yes, let's please find Teto.
Everyone used to say I had an old soul, whatever that means.
You do. You really do, Ling. I can see that.
Oh.
Technically,
seem like
the
a-
Avatar has the oldest soul in the world.
Doesn't that seem very sad? Like, if all other souls move on and like go through some sort of process, doesn't that mean that the Avatar soul is trapped here for all of eternity, forever? Just living another life after another life after another life after another life.
It's not like exactly. They're still a new person.
Right, but they'll just like watch the new person live the life, and then
Yeah,
the new
that's
person
yeah.
dies.
Are they just shackled to having to watch every new Avatar live out their lives after them? You can see
Mhm.
Gamson just sort of looking down like.
Think about this.
my entire world here.
If you think about this, if the Avatar ever somehow lost connection with all of its previous lives, does that mean that those souls are just destroyed forever? Because
Well, that's
they
crazy.
don't
Nick.
have their own
That
soul.
would never happen. No one
that
would
would
ever
never
do
happen,
that.
like,
That would never happen.
Who would ever choose to make that happen?
Yeah, it feels like a really stupid narrative choice.
Yes, I love it. So you guys are limping.
unless that
What?
Avatar really, that was like the only way. You know what I mean? To like solve the problem. Like they just had to do that. It would be a
Well,
deep
that's my
personal
point.
sacrifice for
If
that
you
Avatar.
had to, if
It would be. Honestly, I think if you were to ask that Avatar, they, he, she, whoever it might be, might maybe even regret that decision. But they had to do it in order to save the world, and I think that we need to honor that choice.
Okay, right. You're getting very heated about it.
I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. That's just it must have been a trigger for me.
Well, I understand. I was just asking. It's like then those souls they aren't actually different souls. It's the same soul. So like when those beings just cease to exist for all of eternity.
Gamson says, "I don't want to think about that."
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
This Reddit comment thread has been closed.
For those watching the VOD or watching on Twitch, I left because I spewed everywhere.
Spewed what?
He'll never tell.
He'll never tell. Yes,
revealing your secret.
Haru and Ling with Gamson and To are limping their way towards where Gamson thinks Teto might have gone. But we cut to Teto. Very similar to the scene of Teto happening upon the camp of the Ghost Tigers. You turn and you see a camp of what looks to be air nomads.
Wait, Danny, can we recap what my job is? It's to get the is it to get the stuff or is it to get the people?
It's to get them and tell them that their stuff has been gathered in a spot south of them.
Got it.
Yeah, you can see a group of about I'll say five air nomads.
Okay. Teto is going to come upon them, and they don't see him coming up. Is that right, or do they see him?
Do you want to be seen? Do you care?
I don't care. You give me the situation, and I'll play into it.
Yeah, I think they don't see you until like you get pretty close. And I think at this point, just to sort of set the scene, as like during Haru and Ling sort of encounter Gamson and those vines, and Teto, as you made your way towards this new camp of air nomads, the mist sort of covering the top of the singing path thickened a little bit and darkened a little bit. And as we've stated before, it's sort of hard to sort of like keep track of time while you're here. But the sky begins to darken a little bit as there's almost not a sunset, because the light hue of the entirety of the singing path had just basically just been gray because the top is just covered, veiled in mist. But it's beginning to be a little dark, you know? It's given like overcast vibes. But as you The air nomads, Teto, don't really notice you until you are hit a little bit by the campfire as they turn, and they look surprised a little bit. They
Teto's
go,
just going to say, hello.
who are you? What are you doing here? One of the air nomads speaks up.
Are you all from the Balu Spiral?
Yes.
Oh,
Who are you
great.
with?
I know Monk Harmon and Monk Parmesan. I'm not quite from your spiral. I'm from the Orbun Spiral. I'm Teto.
One of them rolls suspicious mind and succeeds. No. I think the one who was spoken up, which was a guy, sort of still suspicious, but another one stands up and goes, "Oh my god, thank the spirits," as she goes up and just gives you a hug.
And Teto will hug her back.
We are lost. No, don't you? Not necessarily. We're finding our way.
Oh, that's a really good way to go about it. That's the way I was told to go about navigating any sort of spiritual experience.
You said your name's Teto?
Yes. What's your name?
The girl sweeps up. My name is Chon Yi. This is Lelo, Mona, Konchak, and Paldon.
Oh, wow. Those are great names. I'm going to write those down later.
Yep, just me clicking through the name generator.
Sorry, what? There was some sort of spirit echo that when I didn't understand.
Oh yeah,
that
sorry,
last
that's
part.
wrong. He likes to make jokes. But what? Sorry, I'm sorry. We haven't seen any other people besides those. Those ghost tigers. They have been.
Yeah. I kind of got that feeling. Hey, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I just saw them and they sent me to you, the ghost tigers.
At this point, they're a little bit more on their back foot as the rest of them stand up in response to this, and they're like, "You spoke with them?"
Yeah, I did. They're pretty scary. They had like face paint and some of them had masks on as well. And I'm a little bit of a student of fashion myself, so I don't know if that is like on trend or out of trend. It might be tacky. It feels tacky to me. It's like, oh, you're doing a little bit too
One of the
much.
guys
Ooh,
speaks
I'm
up and goes,
so-
"Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. What's the point of painting your face and also covering it with a cloth? Like it's like a
Yeah,
double negative. Are there
I-
diminishing returns?"
Yeah, totally. It's
And the other guy goes, "Shut up, Paldon. Sorry. This has been only us." And he just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." He sits back down.
We'll talk later. Yeah, so I think they want me to lead you into a trap. I don't necessarily want to do that. I agreed because I didn't want them to, beat me up.
Very smart of you. Very smart of you. Your survival instinct is unmatched, Teto. So what's happening? What's the plan?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily have a plan. Maybe you have a plan. I was hoping, or maybe we could come up with a plan together.
What was their plan?
Their plan was to evidently you all have lost some stuff. They said that they had collected the stuff for you. They made it seem like it was a nice way of gathering your things. I have a suspicion it's kind of like when somebody's grabbing your hands and saying, "Don't hit yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself." They're trying to tell you to stop hitting, but they're the one who's making you hit yourself. So,
Man, that would have been nice.
I mean,
oh my God, okay. Okay.
I would like for us to get your stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to go to the center of the singing path. Sounds like you all want to go out of the singing path, unless you want to come with me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're trying to get the ghost tigers out of the singing path. As I can see, there's not as many of us left at this point.
Yeah. You know what? So that's what's going to happen. So I don't know. Do you all want to come with me?
To the center?
Or maybe like walk into the trap. Is it a trap if you know that it's going to happen? It's still a trap. I think it might still be a trap.
Well, I mean, who knows how many of the ghost tigers are going to be there?
I mean, I ran into about 7 or 8. One of them was his name is Sting. He's not a nomad, but he is an airbender from the temple. You know what they say about those temple airbenders.
Yeah, the worst.
That's why I didn't trust him.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to like out ambush the ambush?
That's a
you're
great
saying?
idea.
What
And
if
Danny?
what if you went to our supplies and told them to come here?
You know what? I think maybe you're onto something, Paladon.
Everyone else is face palmed. And as you can, there are hand-shaped marks on their faces. Everyone else but Paladon.
I'm feeling a kindred spirit here. My boy.
Were you gonna do something, Sam? You seemed like you were gonna start to ask.
I mean, like I think that if we can establish that this group has a rapport and accepts Teto into it, I think I would like us to come up with a consensus about like whether or not we are going to want to move forward or if they're going to want to move. So do they have a strong point of view of if they want to?
So here's what they say. I think the one who's been speaking the most at this point, which I'll say now, is the girl that hugged you. She'll say, I think at this point we aren't equipped to fight off the ghost tigers. And I think at this point, the 5 of us just want to leave, but we can't really do that without our supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You are completely free to go to the center. It seems like that you have like some sort of calling to go to the center of this path. That's fine. You can do that. We don't want to do that. We want to get out of here.
I understand. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. I think we should run a ruse on the ghost tigers. But I think what's going to have to happen is that you all are going to need your supplies. And so maybe there's a way for us to get them to think that maybe you didn't accept me. Maybe you thought that I was one of them. And I go on ahead and tell them that they weren't fooled, that you all were not tricked. And on top of that, on top of that, I already told them this. On top of that, that I have a spiritual vision or a spiritual calling or a spiritual queasiness. I don't know what it is. That something bad is happening, and we gotta go. And I'm gonna see if I can get them to go deeper in, and then you all sneak on after us and get your things and get out of here.
Honestly, at this point, it's a plan. And it's a great plan at that, Teto. Man, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm also glad that I'm here.
And at this point, one of the Balu's viral nomads who hasn't spoken before goes, "You think they're gonna believe you if you show up there unharmed?"
I mean,
we might have to bruise you up a little bit. No, don't do that.
And who's the leader again?
I
mean,
sorry
that I asked you for a PC name.
You know what was great? I was clicking through rapidly.
You didn't write them down?
No, I forgot to write them down. The only one I remember right now is Paladon. So let's say it's Reno.
I think
It's changed.
who yeah, is there one that is like maybe more wise, or again the leader Reno
Yeah,
is
so the guy Reno's the girl that's been talking to you a lot.
okay.
The guy who sort of was the first to address you, who was a little suspicious of you, is named Namgyal. These are the
Sorry.
names that are set in stone now.
And which one sounds like a Victorian serial killer?
Oh, this guy,
Yeah, him.
Gil. Okay.
I think I'm gonna go to the leader and say
Namgyal.
Namgil, whoever the leader is.
Namgyal.
And I'm gonna say, I'm not exactly sure what the right course of action is. I think that yes, like there should be some sort of convincing marking that you all did not accept me. I don't necessarily. I'm getting used to the idea of using violence as a tool, and now there's this prospect of violence being used against me as part of this. I'm not sure how I feel about this. In the Orban spiral, we try to compromise. We try to have compassion, but the Balu spiral seems a little bit different. What is it that I'm not on my home turf? This is not my territory. What do you suggest? How do you feel we should best deal with this situation?
So I don't know what Harmong or Parmesan told you. We've been here for a while, not anywhere near as long as Gimson. And I'm sure. Have you met Gimson?
I have met her. And Teto is going to feel feelings knowing that he left her.
Feel feelings.
Actually, I can mark guilty too.
I was gonna say, I was like, feel feelings like guilt.
Yeah.
At this point, Namgyal will say, so as I
You
said,
know what?
we haven't even been here nearly as long as her, and even in the amount of time that we've been here, we've found that the traditional ways of the nomads might not be enough to get the ghost tigers out of here. They are persistent, and they are ever more so growing more terrible. I can't speak for everyone else, but as I said, we don't have the numbers that we used to have, this specific incursion that was sent here. But I do not regret the fact that we've also dwindled their numbers a little bit as well.
You know,
It's, yeah.
more that I walk the path, not just the singing path, but this journey that I've been on, I'm starting to see that more people are willing to do what I haven't been willing to do. And it's making me consider my perspective. I hope that I can be strong when I need to be. Maybe I can start right now. And I'm going to turn to the murderous one and say,
Yeah, he's Gil.
I'm going to say, hit me.
And yeah, and then you see Gil just He doesn't even bend. He just punches you across the face.
Oh, my face!
Is that what Teto says? Does Teto say, "Oh, my face"?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I think Reno sort of, "Oh my god," as Gil goes to like kick you while you're on the ground, and Yamgal goes, "No, Gil, he's fine.
Oh, I'm on the ground. Oh,
He has a black eye." And Yamgal will help you up. Should have grabbed you by the hand, help you up.
Danny, was that enough to clear trouble?
Let's see. Trouble see guys from the door. A powerful figure. I mean, yeah.
Certainly a powerful punch.
I think, honestly, though, I think you would have cleared troubled from just your time in general with Gamson. I feel like there are times back when you were with Gamson where you would have cleared troubled.
All right, I'm clearing it then. If
Yeah, so what I'm saying is you can definitely clear troubled. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put guilty, and I guess I'll and I'll be like, it was really good,
that.
Gil. You did a good job. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
This is.
I've been told I punch good for an air nomad. All right. And Yamgal will say, we've told you our ways. So this is the plan we're going with, right?
Yeah, I'll say that you all didn't believe me, and I got punched so hard that I had a spiritual vision, and that something big is coming. By chance, would you know, like, I don't know, is there a physical manifestation or visual that's associated with the spirit here that might strike terror into these ghost tigers?
Oh, wrong.
No, I'd like the right one.
Oh, the other spirit?
I thought, what?
Huh?
There's
This
spirits?
because apparently Sting has like had visions from another spirit.
Oh yeah, he told me
that-
about that.
Yeah. I don't even know what that's about. But
Oh, well,
you
okay,
want to like
well-
strike, huh?
Yeah. Strike fear in Sting via spirit vision. Like what's the spirit look like here?
I don't know. Wrong, the spirit wrong, like the spirit that watches over the singing path. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a huge serpent with like a moth for a head.
That's good enough. I'll go with that
It's
one.
like Yamson told us. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Prepared.
As you start to walk away, Yamgal goes up and he stops you for a little bit. He goes, "All right, I have faith in the plan, but I want you to know that things could still go awry, Teto. And I'm gonna tell you what Gamson told us. All right, when we got here, there comes times in your life where you are met with the fact that you have to make two choices. One of two choices, either fight or run. But one of those choices becomes a lot less harder to achieve if you're in a maze with no way out."
Teto is doing calculus in his mind. He's like, wait, so which one is it? Which
I think-
He's-
Also, my boy forgot about neutral Jing. Just throwing it out there.
Just threw it out the window.
Unbelievable.
If
Jing is an earthbender thing. No, I don't know.
Well, I
If-
think all the bending styles have jings. It's just that Earthbender.
yeah, they have Jinx.
It's a neutral
Jing men.
That's it.
Jing Gong.
I think someone at some point says that there are 8 jings.
There's a
Well,
lot. Yeah.
That's what I think Aang says in response, and then the king is like, "Well, Boomy's like, technically there's like 147, but
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But Namgal goes, "I just want you to understand that you might not be able to run or talk your way out of every situation with the ghost tigers. Do you catch my drift? It's an airbender saying. Catch my drift.
Oh, it's easy and breezy. That's also an airbender saying. And Teto,
Sorry,
is-
I'm attempting to this NPC. I don't think it's a call out. I think Namgyal is attempting to shift your balance towards survival.
yeah, Teto's gonna take it. He's getting there on his own.
I love it. And what does Teto say?
Teto nods. Like he doesn't have any quips for this.
All right, I love it. So Namgyal bids you farewell. Hadon goes, bye.
We'll talk later. I've got a whole
Alright.
I got a whole sketchbook that we can go over. It's got a fashion sketches.
The Ghost Tigers tore up my sketchbook,
Oh man, that's terrible.
and then they laughed at me.
Those are hard. No, I don't like these
Yeah,
guys
but-
anymore.
I'm still happy.
You know what? You keep that sunshine inside your heart.
All right, bye.
Bye. I think the plan is to go tell them, and then say that Wrong is coming, and then have the Balu spiral. I don't know, wait 100 breaths, and then come in after him.
I love it. I love it. So I think this is what happens. Haru and Ling and Gamson are sort of just limping their way. I'm guessing Haru and Ling are still trying to like feel their way through the path.
Yeah, if Gimson doesn't have anything for us, we're just gonna keep feeling the walls.
Yeah. Maybe every now and then Gamson goes, I think this way.
Yeah.
She has the continuous pain grunt. When you're just in pain, you have to continuously grunt every now and then. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. At this point,
The damage track.
at this point, it's become darker and darker, right? It's like not so dark where like you can't really like see your way, but it's beginning to be a little like worrying. Like, oh, it's getting kind of dark, right? You wish you had a firebender, but I think this is what happens. Haru, Gamson, and Linkrong, you turn and you come across this clearing where you see this pile of what looks to be like supply, like camping supplies, like bedrolls, like some like boxes, lots of bags. And across from those supplies, you see Teto emerging from another path.
Well, this
Hey!
seems like a trap designed for a toddler.
Teto!
Don't give away her position.
Teto, you see your friends.
Haru, Linkrog, it's hard for me to see out of my eye.
Just Ling,
Yes,
just like
and-
shut up.
And sure enough, you see them with Gamson in tow.
Gibson, I was worried about you. Don't wave. It's
We're
your
done.
arm. You look a little bit better though. You look a little bit better. And I look at Ling and I'm like, is this you? Did you do this?
I apparently did my best, and
Yeah.
something happened.
Hey.
Should
And,
we get closer instead of shouting across?
Honestly, yes, this is clearly a trap, and we've definitely sprung it. So, whoever you are, just come out now. We know you're here. Did no one come out?
There's no response right now. No.
Huh. Probably just waiting.
I think we just ran into someone's stuff. There are already a bunch of people here. Like,
Who leaves a bunch of stuff in the middle of it? No, this is clearly a
Danny,
trap.
can you? Is there a glider among the stuff?
Yeah, I think there are probably a number of the bow staff gliders. There's let's say there are
I would like to take one.
9. Okay. Okay.
Is this can I just take one, or is this a bad habit?
Well, it belongs to someone else. That person might be dead, but I think it's still. I think because it's kind of probably disrespectful to just do. I think it would be a bad habit.
Do it.
So let's do that, and then something's gonna happen. But let's
Okay,
do this first.
playbook features. You picked up some bad habits. I'm gonna
Something's gonna
try
happen, but what?
to casual thievery. Casual
Would-
thievery is what it is.
Would the airbenders consider this thievery though? Would
With
they
the
just be like,
nomads. The nomads, yeah.
yeah? Would they just be like, yeah? You can
Oh
use
yeah,
that.
they're members of the Balu Spiral.
Well, I mean, like definitely
I
the
think
Orban
these.
Spiral
I think
are-
these nomads, the Orban Spirals more so.
Yeah, they're
the
more.
Orban
they're more
Spiral would have been like, yeah, take it, whatever. I think the members of the Balu Spiral, especially the members of the group who this stuff belonged to, would be like, we would have really much liked if you at least like asked us first.
Sure.
You know, especially if it belonged to one of their dead friends.
Yeah, reasonable request out of context, but for Teto, not even considered.
Yes.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna take one of these, Danny. I mean,
All right, yeah,
Okay. So should I do my move?
yeah.
It's
Right. So, and this is an individual thing. So I'm indulging this on my own. So I'm going to shift my balance towards survival and roll with my survival. So I'm at +3 survival now.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
5 and a 6 on the dice.
That's really good.
So
That's really good. So on you roll survival. If you have no on a hit, you pull it off and vent your frustrations. Clear fatigue or conditions equal to your survival.
Ooh, equal to my survival. Oh wait, clear fatigue or conditions equal to my. So I'm at +3 survival. I've got 2
Yeah.
fatigue and 1 condition. Can I clear all 3 of those, or
So I think it says clear fatigue or conditions. I think if it would have said clear fatigue and conditions, then yeah. But I think you have to choose between either clearing conditions or clearing fatigue.
I'm gonna clear?
From
both
my
my
understanding.
fatigue
Okay.
Any
I feel like
other
that's
weigh-ins
right. Because it says clear fatigue or conditions equal to your survival. Maybe I've played too
Nope,
many like
nope.
TCGs. Nope.
No. I'm reading it right now. When you clear fatigue or conditions equal to your survival, you split the total amount of conditions and fatigue
Awesome.
between them, however you choose.
Awesome. Yeah, so you
Cleared
can
them all,
clear
y'all.
your one condition and both of your fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. And also on a
Stealing
10
is
plus,
so good for you.
isn't it great? Also on a 10 plus, you also gain a windfall, a boon, or opportunity. Your
I
bad
would like,
habits
I would
get
like
off
one
this
of
time.
those. I would like one of those. Considering that
Yes,
we've
I will.
That's some good.
gone into a trap, and like again, the plan which Teto came up with is now out the window. Because you know what, Haru and Ling, it's good to see you. You weren't part of the plan. Like he doesn't know what to do now.
I love it. So here, you'll get a boon, but as you grab this staff, you look at it, you're like, ooh, nice staff. And you begin to stow it as the ground and the walls, like ever so many times it's happened before, begin shaking. As the vines begin wriggling. As you all 3 of you look around and you see the stone like walls surrounding this clearing, you see like dust begin to kick up as you see like some of like the stones making up the walls begin to crumble and fall. Teto, you remember seeing that clearing that the Ghost Tigers are camped in? Like the stones around that clearing were strangely like broken, right? The walls are sort of like crumbled and broken. And you see this happening in this clearing right here.
Is Sting's spirit breaking the walls?
As some of the walls around you begin like sort of like tipping inward towards you and like begin like cracking with this like unnatural motion. As yes, this begins happening. And the vines are wriggling and that shrieking sound begins to happen. And I think Teto, you're the one that definitely notices this. You see around the vines that are covering the walls, and like the walls are like shaking and like tipping and like creaking towards you. You see this like dark, like purple hue between the cracks of those walls, and like this dark purple hue in like the veins that make up the vines. And almost like that somewhat kind of similar to the garbage compactor in Star Wars. You see the walls begin to like closing in on you guys.
And
Told
this
you
is
it
a
was trapped.
boon. How?
Oh,
But-
this isn't a boon. This was just going to happen.
This is what happens. But you see this path. So you, Teto, and Haru and Linkron came from either side. A path off to one of the other sides starts to close. Before it completely closes, bursting through it, you see a familiar looking face. You see your Panther Ray friend burst through this path and tumble into the pile of supplies by the airbenders. And you see it frantically looking around.
Where's May?
As
Ray, everybody loves you.
I don't think it understands what we're saying. Hi, underneath. You with the one you
you
actually like.
you see it like looking at each of you, and it almost looks to be looking for someone, probably May, but it cannot find May as it looks around.
We're also looking for May. Also, we're about to die.
And you
Can we
hear
just like go back the way you came?
You all hear this deep
From
as sort of like off to the side of one of these clearings, you see this bump emerge in the ground and begin like emerging more and more as something seems to be breaking up, like trying to break out from the ground of this clearing that you're in, as the walls are still closing in on all of you.
So, are there no pathways out now?
There are still some more pathways out, but they're closing in.
I will try and hold the walls at bay.
I love that. I love it so much. Give me a rely on your skill and training.
As he's doing that, Lingrong will try to throw very ungracefully Demson over the Panther.
Ah!
Back.
And yeah, I say you can just do it.
Okay, well that's easier.
That's a
Yeah.
6.
Oh, I can help. Can I bend? I was like, there's no way I can help. There is a way I can help. All of these walls are covered in vines, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to push the vines back and have them hold it just as much as he's pushing
Hell yeah.
stone itself.
Hell yeah. So go ahead and mark a fatigue to bring that rely on to a 7. Bring it to a hit. So you do it, but you do it imperfectly. I tell you how your approach might lead to unexpected consequences. So you try to hold the walls with Link's help off from closing.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're just doing this while the rest of your group get on the Panther Way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Teto, pick a path.
I love it. So yeah, you Haru, you're holding these walls as you can feel them pushing up against you. But then for a moment you feel as the rest of you are hopping on. I'm going Teto, do you hop on the Panther Way?
Maybe he'll unfurl his new glider because the Panther Ray is pretty.
He said 2 people can be on it.
Yeah.
And
I love it, I love it.
I'm sure you can get three on, right?
Yeah, you can squeeze more people on, but it probably won't be.
Yeah, he'll take the glider. And like, do you want me to assess the situation to see what the best way out is?
No, I just wanted to see what you're doing first. But
Okay,
so
that's
Haru,
what's happening.
you've chosen this path to hold open, so all the other paths are basically just closed off at this point. While whatever that entity is breaking through is making war and mine. These cracks are forming in that bump in the ground that it's made, and through this crack, that sort of like purplish hue is like glowing through. But as you're pushing against these walls, you feel the push stop a little bit. Like you're pushing, and you feel that like pressure pushing out back up against you. Stop. As suddenly the walls surrounding this path you've chose cave down, and the ground around them sort of cave down as well, creating like similar pits on either side of this path, similar to the one that you and May had fallen down. And you feel the ground around you beginning to cave in as well, whereas these walls that were sort of closing in on you just begin caving down. into like the abyss around you.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
I will mark that fatigue to call the earth back up and
I love it.
push
I love it.
simultaneously.
I love it. Yeah. So like you sort of like, no, you don't, and you call the earth back up, making up a pathway big enough for the panther way to make it down.
Go! We gotta go now. I can't do this much longer.
I'm trying to help.
You're doing great. We gotta go.
I think what Teto is going to do right now is he will try to build up air pressure behind them. And then once it gets to a certain amount of pressure, he'll release it so that everybody is blown forward by a jet stream.
I like that. That's very fun. Give me a push your luck.
Yeah, I don't think either of us can move very quickly while trying to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess what I picture is like Teto sort of building up this air pressure while Haru and Lingrong hop on the Panther Way with Gamson.
Yep.
Yeah, that is the plan.
Yeah?
I'm
Okay.
going to mark a fatigue. I'm going to live up to my
Ooh.
principle of survival.
That
I'm going
tracks.
to roll with my survival.
That tracks, which is +3 right now.
So here we go. I got a 10 on the dice.
Ooh,
Pretty good.
I love it.
I'm doing very well.
Why would you say that?
So you do it. It costs you
Episode's
straight
almost
by,
over.
but your boldness pays off and a lucky opportunity falls in your lap. So here's what we see. Haru and Lingrong get on the Panther Way with Gamson as Teto begins building up this air pressure. I'm guessing you're like standing behind them to sort of push the Panther Way along. Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're sort of standing behind them. Just behind you, whatever this entity is ever more so beginning to break free from beneath the ground. But you build up this air pressure and you let it go. And it, along with the Panther Way kicking himself off to just sprint forward, you just launch this Panther Way forward. And it just seems to help. It just begins sprinting and galloping, basically. But as you go to go after them, I'm guessing using your air glider.
Yes.
You use your air glider to go after them, and you jump up maybe like 10 feet in the air when you feel a grasp at your ankle. And you look down, and you look to see what looks like this insectile leg has burst from the ground and grabbed onto you. And it's almost like, like insectile legs have these like almost like hairs that they used to step on.
Yeah.
The hairs of this insectile leg are these like small, like slender hands that are grasping onto you.
Oh, Danny.
No.
God damn.
Ew.
As emerging from the ground, you see this dark spirit, this spider, but it looks basically just be the body of a spider with just a closed-eyed, like human face on the top of its body as it's grabbing onto you. But then you hear something else coming from another side. You hear a rumble as you turn and you see the paths of the maze are sort of forming into just one pathway going straight towards you guys as you see this dust and smoke kicking up from something coming towards you as you see this just wall of white mist. As
Go towards the mist.
before you guys
Fight.
as right before you Teto and this dark spirit holding onto your leg are met with this mist, you see this huge form of what looks at first to be this moth slam in to this dark spirit. As you now see that behind it, the moth is just the head of this huge serpentine figure whose rest of like their body you can't even see because it's veiled in mist in the rest of the path.
And is this hand still grabbing onto Teto's leg?
I think as the moth had slammed into you, it sort of flung you just like into whichever direction the moth slammed into you on. So you are now, your group went one way, and you have sort of been flung in another direction of the maze as you just make impact with the wall and slam to the ground. And I think I want you to mark a fatigue from that.
Okay.
But you are away from this as you're just impact and like groans, like and like a deeper, just like groan from Wrong as there are just two large spirits hashing it out in the clearing that you were just on. Haru and Ling, you look behind and you catch a glimpse of this, I think. But this panther ray is just
No, I think we
running.
stop, or I jump off.
Oh, you stop? You jump off? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can probably stop the panther way after you get a little bit.
Well,
ways
if
away.
we stop it, then Ling is going to get off and say to the panther ray, like, "Find May," and
sort of looks at you and
run
goes
back.
It doesn't nod. It just looks and then turns and runs.
Haru, are you staying with the panther? Are you
No, I'll come with you.
Yeah.
I'll send Yensem off though. I won't take
Gimsen?
Gimsen off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just leave
Yeah,
it
Gamson
on.
probably. Yeah, I think Gamson leave her on the
Leave her on the panther. Sorry,
Sorry.
to be found by May.
I think that makes
hopefully.
sense. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think there's a
That
little
was
like
the thought process thing.
there's a little wordless like nod between the three of you and Gamson. Like, yeah, I'm staying on this panther.
Yeah. All right, Ling, what's the plan?
I don't have one. This is a very terrible idea. We need to go save Teto.
All right.
Teto, what are you doing? Sorry, you have just been like you're in another portion of the maze. I think, yeah, like in the distance you can see like the dust getting kicked up and like maybe some stones like flying as portions of this maze are just getting like just flung away and destroyed from this fight.
So Teto has had the wind knocked out of him. He's just been grabbed by a spirit. He is in high survival mode. He is going to go in the opposite direction of where the commotion is. So as fast and as furious as he can, he's out of there.
I love it. Are you using your glider?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll use the glider. I'll use some fast sneakers. I'll use a sports car. Whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, and I think I'm here. So here's what I'll say. I think you do that, and you do it, and you almost wonder why the rest of the air nomads didn't use their gliders to navigate the maze. Maybe there's a reason they couldn't. Maybe because the dark spirit's distracted now. That's why you're
Teto's
able to
not
really
going to think
fly.
about that.
Yeah. And I think
he starts to think about it, and he's like, "Nope, no, that is not a thought." That.
Don't need that right now.
And as Ling and Haru, you start to make your way towards the clearing, and you see this insane spectacle of these two. Well, one pretty massive, one immensely huge. Ling, you've seen Wrong before. Moth serpent just fighting with this horrifying spider spirit, and you look to your left, and sure enough, you see in the distance Teto on his glider just gliding in the
Oh, he was totally fine. That's not good. Do you know which one of these is the right spirit?
At one point, you see the spider spirit get flung right towards you guys.
Haru hit it with a rock. She's just like just runs back.
I love it. Yeah, so like it looks like you bent rock just like upwards, Haru.
Yep. Yeah.
I love it. Like a pillar of rock to just like nudge it upwards. I love that. So yeah, so Wrong flings the spider straight towards you guys, and Haru, you just nudge it upwards as it just arcs above you and lands behind you. And you see Wrong begin to turn and just bulldoze his way towards where he threw the spirit, not even seeming to care that you guys are in his path.
Run.
just moving. Just full sprint. Worst idea of Lingfrog's life, which is saying something.
Can I like
If I
turn
didn't already
basically
have guilty mark, I'd mark it again. Anyways.
turn the earth below us into sand and like push us along, sort of like
I love
personal
that.
sand gliders, but just like
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Kind of like how it's kind of like how like skilled waterbenders like navigate across like lakes that we've seen
Yes.
before, but you're
Yep,
doing it with
yeah.
sand. I love it.
Yep.
I like Sam is a team player. He just put in the private chat, can Ling clear insecure?
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean,
Because Ling just hopped off of the
foolhardy
panther.
action without talking to your companions.
I think so. I think yes, yeah. Give me you're a sandbender, give me a rely on your skills and training.
Or of course you could always not clear insecure and go on your reconciliation track for insecure.
Nah, she's feeling pretty insecure after what just happened.
That is an 8.
Nice. So you do it imperfectly. So you're running away from you're not like running away from Ron because he's chasing you. You're running away from Ron because you're in his path.
Correct.
And
I think probably back to where we came from.
yeah,
Seems
and
like
so
it's
what I'm
supposed to go.
picturing is you guys are on that sort of path that's just on either side surrounded by just like a pit of abyss now.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
And wrong,
Good.
that's where yeah. And so as you're running, you're using the sand to sort of push your way along. And you see wrong as he's traveling, he just seems to be the path underneath him, like behind him, is just disappearing as this huge serpentine figure is just
Yeah.
bulldozing his way towards the spider. Ling, you've seen wrong before. They seem to be like more so like indifferent up until now. This is the first time you see like this like red hue of anger on Wrong's face.
Haru, up and over the snake. On top of the
but
snake.
you do it imperfectly. So you're using the sand to push you along. But as the path that you're on is getting more and more narrow, crumbling, you feel you guys begin to fall, like sort of slip on the sand down the opposite sides of the path.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll mark that fatigue, and just a pillar shoots out and pushes us up over Wrong.
I love it.
To its back.
I love it. It looks like Ling just asked you to do something.
Onto his back?
Yeah.
Yes, that was what I asked to do.
Wow.
You
else
know
are we
what?
gonna go?
Because this is absolutely insane. I'm just gonna give it to you. You push yourselves up on pillars, and now the both of you are on Wrong's back. You're on the wrong back.
Oh no! Oh shoot! This is the wrong back. We're supposed to be on that giant snake spirit's back.
And yeah, I mean, Wrong doesn't even seem to care. You just see as you're now I'm holding on to the fur of the serpentine figure, which now that you're on it, it seemed like a
All
serpent.
the fur is
Ling.
fingers.
No, but it seems to almost be more like the body of like a gigantic caterpillar, as there are these tiny little furs that you're able to like hold on
Cool.
to.
Yeah.
Oh, like
And you see Wrong just now basically giving chase to this a little bit smaller, still massive spider spirit. Before we like wrap up, I want to ask where the heck Teto's going.
I think it's interesting that you were saying like why haven't other airbenders tried their gliders, and so Teto is gliding. He hasn't done this in a while, and maybe he's just gonna push higher and higher and higher at an angle to see if he can get a better vantage point and see better.
Yeah. Has Teto flown the glider before?
He has in his past. But
Yeah.
I think that he hasn't had a glider of his own since he's been on his journey.
Yeah, I think just with the state of this is in, as I said, pretty quickly above the maze is veiled in mist. And so because you're sort of like gliding into mist at this point, I think this is gonna be a push your luck.
So he can't see anything.
It seems so. Are you trying to is Teto like trying to like sort of glide like above the mist?
I think he wants to get to a space where he can see more. So if he can push like through the mist and above the cloud cover, like I think I want to do that so that I can hopefully locate again where is the center of this thing. I'll probably be able to see these two big kaijus like going at it, and maybe get a better sense of where to go next.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Because you've flown with the glider before, I think this will just be a rely on your skills and training. Because there are some other aspects at play here.
All right, I've got a focus of 0.
Okay.
11. This is
Nice.
nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So you just do it. Yeah. I think, as I said, I think
Give me
never
something
mind.
good, Danny. I've been rolling so good. You gotta give me something good.
Yeah, so we just see the scene of Teto, you just the gliding as you begin to glide up. You go through this mist as the thicker and thicker the mist gets, you're just like water hitting your face, almost as if you're like gliding through a cloud. And it gets darker and darker as you start to get nervous because you're just flying blindly through mist upwards at this point. And I think it's ever more dark and darker, a little more wet, like water at this point is like stinging your face as it's just hitting you and you're trying to glide as fast as possible. When suddenly you break the top of this mist veil as it's bright, the sun's out, it's daytime. As you see the top of the mist-veiled maze, the mist covering the maze looks like a beautiful like white cloud. And in the distance, almost as if it's like the eye of a hurricane, you see a clearing of the mist, which one can assume could only possibly be the center.
I think in this moment, Teto will see that and bank his glider and start to glide towards the center. Nice visuals.
I love it.
Andy. It like, feels very
you.
cinematic at this moment.
I love it.
Yeah.
We see
Maybe a little too
Teto,
distracted by the cinematics, abandoning your friends. So, whatever.
we see Teto gliding as the camera pans back down into the mist and through those wet clouds. As we once again just see this insane scene of Haru and Lingrong, Lisan al-Gaibing wrong.
Yeah, we're just it's not nearly as graceful. I think we're like holding
you
on.
guys aren't standing.
Like,
Yeah, they're not standing at all. Yeah.
Haru!
What?
I hate this place.
Me too.
That's it.
I love it. And the scene cuts.
This is literally just Ling Hrung's no good, very bad, god awful day.
And then the scene comes back on as we see a single light. And it's a ball of fire in May's hand as she's walking down the now dark paths of the singing path. As she's walking, she turns and she comes upon this clearing. And this clearing is now veiled in light as she looks up, and the mist that it had been covering the singing path is almost like it doesn't touch this clearing here. As it's like a massive clearing, all right? And in the center of this like beautiful, like green, lush grass covered clearing is this dome that seems to be made up of different discs. That's just it's just spinning in every which direction. And we cut.
Nice.
She pulled a Gandalf.
She's a waterbender now.
No, let us distract the trash mobs and the dungeon bosses, and she went straight to getting all of the better loot. And
All the XP.
Yeah. Imagine fly, you fools. We're like, no, I want that sword. Jumps down. Jumps down with Gandalf.
I need a chance to roll for it.
I love it. Huh.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Who knows what's gonna happen? What's the deal with next
No.
week? You know?
What's the
whole thing.
deal? Ah. That was not a good Seinfeld. That was bad.
No.
Seinfeld.
Well, you need to
What's
Yeah.
the deal with next week?
What's the deal?
Ah.
Yeah. Justin, you want to give the old 1-2 pitch?
Check us out on Sundays when we play Heroes by Hearthlight. Fantasy Forge in the Dark. I want to say Hearthfire. I started saying it. I
Yeah,
want to say Hearthfire,
yeah.
but it's not. It's Hearthlight. Our Fantasy Forge in the Dark game. And if you're interested in supporting us, support us at patreon.com/Dustfire Media.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
We'll see you next week.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Later, cat gators.